Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brownian Notion. I'm Gogol.
And I'm Ananya. And today we are joined by our lovely producer, Anna. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
Hello. And joining us is one of my dearest, lovely friends. I have to learn this kind of language now, right? So, Marlene. Hi, Marlene.
Hi.
I'll never be a millionaire. Whoa, boom, boom, and zoom. I'm in love.
So, what are we talking about today?
Today we have a bit of a different program. So, we are talking about Adda. This topic came to us after we got some feedback from our listeners. Yay! So, one of my Bengali friends, after she listened actually to the first episode, she said it felt like this kind of conversations she would have back home with her friends. And when I told this to Gogol, Gogol introduced me to the notion of Ada. Did I say it right now?
A bit more depth, but yeah, you're getting there. It's Adda.
Yeah. And maybe Ananya, can you explain us a bit what's this? Ada? Ada.
Oh God, again I had chocolate in my mouth. Sorry. Yeah, so Adda for me is basically talking about almost anything under the sun with preferably tea or coffee, and things can get very heated sometimes. But at the end of the day, no matter what you are arguing about with your friends, we leave it in that room or we leave it in that cafe. So that's the important part of Adda, that
Yeah.
you can come together despite whatever your inclinations are, which I think is so important in a polarized world like we live in right now, and just chit chat. And sometimes those become super deep conversations. So that's why I love Adda so much.
Yeah, and as you said, what I really like about it is you can really have very intense conversations and disagreements, but you leave the place
Mhm.
still being friends. You don't take it home. And that's the whole point of Adda, that you talk about some, I don't know, something very deep or philosophical maybe, but then you somehow end up talking about everything from world politics to what policy Joe Biden should do in US, and then you are just sitting in a coffee shop or tea shop in Calcutta, which is like very strange that everybody has an opinion about everything, and it's mostly about politics or sports, and it is always done in a place which we called take. So take doesn't mean anything. It just means one place where you religiously hang out every day. It can be anything. It can be like some broken staircase around the corner, or it could be like some dilapidated building where you can just sit and just talk about, I don't know, universe and like meaning of life.
Yeah, if you have a place to sit or stand comfortably, that's it.
Wait, but in a stair?
Yeah, because all the examples you gave were like uncomfortable places to sit, like a dilapidated building and a staircase. Really?
So involved in the conversation that it doesn't seem uncomfortable anymore.
But you also have to understand that in India, space is very limited. So it's not like you can sit anywhere because there is always somebody sitting there, you know?
So you sit on the lap of somebody.
Actually, you do not do Adda, you give Adda, which is very weird.
You give. Oh, that's actually very interesting. Yeah.
In Bengali, like Trina was saying in the previous episode, everything is give. You give exam, you give
Yes.
adda, everything is give. So do you guys have something similar, Anna?
Yes, so when Gogol told me about this notion, of course, then I thought about my friend Marlene. We actually got very close because we will go very often just do these kind of things, like go for a beer after work and just be talking, or, go for a coffee in the weekends and talking about like everything and nothing, I guess. So, Marlene, so what's your view on this? Because I am socially awkward, right? I should put this out there. I didn't really learn how to make friends until I was 20 something. Maybe you, as a more social competent person, you can maybe give a better view of what we call coffee conversation, conversa de café in Portugal.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is that we should have like a nicer name to it.
Yes.
I mean, the Indians beat us to it,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I think we should have like a marketing campaign and rename it.
It's not Indian, by the way. It's Bengali only.
Sorry.
So
But I mean, regarding the coffee conversations, it's like a really, really common practice in Portugal as well. I mean, you see people inside cafes every time of day, and they're usually not alone, and they're usually, as you were saying, talking about politics or football. But yeah, it's so common that you don't even realize you're doing it. You're just going to the cafe and
right.
Yeah, usually I try to explain this more here in the Germanic culture that so in Portugal the living room is outside of your house where we meet with friends, where our social life happens is like on the streets, on the cafes. What's very different from the Germanic culture where they have more this notion of you going and having a coffee in your friend's house or having a house party, and usually you'll have your favorite cafe, actually, I should say, and that is the usual people there.
When do you start doing this? Is there an age range, or do you start it whenever you start making friends already?
I did kind of start doing this a bit before my high school, so like 14 years old.
yeah, I think teenagers, it's teenage years is when you start, because it's when you start drinking coffee as well. And I think those things are related.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're a kid, you go to the cafe and beg your parents for chocolates. So there's no
Yes.
staying there to to talk about anything. So
And you learn this from your family. It's like I remember as a kid, and I just have all the aunts and uncles in my parents' house, and they're just talking about everything and nothing. So then when you're a teenager, you try to mimic them somehow.
Yes, same. It's the same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we would also see like our parents and uncles and all of these people also giving adda, right? And they would never like take us in. The moment we would go there, they would change the topic.
Exactly. You start feeling left out a little bit, and then you're like, I'll start my own group and we'll show you this.
So you kind of add a group and you go to this place to meet. It's like this.
Yes, yeah.
Because in Portugal, what can happen is that you just go to the cafe and wherever is there, what's the person that's there, you may end up talking to them. That's actually one of the most common, usually with the men. Yeah, there was still a gender discrimination on this, but was very common for men after dinner to go to the cafe
Yeah.
and just spend there the evening, drinking some beer and talking to other men.
We also have that a bit, but we have a very big club culture. We have all these small clubs, which are mostly like they call themselves sporting clubs, but they probably do not play a lot of sports. It's just for people to hang out and do adda.
What?
Literally, they also get some money from the government to promote sports. I'm doing the air quotes, which you cannot see. And all you see is the grown men standing there doing adda and playing carom. I don't know if you know what carom is.
Okay, so in Portugal we actually have such a things, but they are usually for arts, right, Marlene? These sociedade recreativas. I don't know how to call this.
no, I think it's like exactly how Gogol was explaining how it is. It's like it's kind of associated with sports because it has like a sports teams.
Yeah.
But usually it's just a bunch of old dudes playing cards and dominoes inside of the headquarters.
Exactly.
Exactly.
There, like-
This is exactly
And
the
this
thing.
is like everywhere in Portugal. Like
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have something of this kind in Romf, but in
yeah,
Cabanas,
we had it, of course.
yeah, it's just you enter there and it has this like weird smoke in like stalled beer
And
smell.
coffee,
Yeah.
this bad coffee. Ugh.
Yeah, and it's just like older guys playing cards
Yeah.
and getting
And
drunk.
talking about politics.
But it's a
and
sports
sports.
club. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to say before we move on from this, when you guys said old guys playing dominoes and stuff and cards, there was a meme in the beginning of the pandemic when India was going under lockdown that there was this old guy who went, despite lockdown, to one of those shacks to have tea. He can have tea at his home. We all know he's not going to have tea, he just wants to have adda. And he got so mad when the police caught him,
Yeah.
and it became like viral. His reaction, he was like, "Should I not drink tea? What are you suggesting?" Really, we're in the middle of a pandemic, dude. Stop. And he was so mad.
Yeah.
But now I
Yeah, but
understand
you
him
have
now.
so in Portugal we have some stuff like this. I think Marlene will know the stories better. But at some point, they could not sell coffee. And this was because we were in an extreme point of the pandemic. And this was terrible. It was
Yeah.
what, 2 weeks, Marlene? I don't know.
Maybe
Like the
more.
machines were off, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and they couldn't sell coffee, and people in Portugal were just going crazy. So they had this thing where you could sell coffee in your coffee shop, but only through the window. So people
Oh.
couldn't go inside, but they could sell you like a 1 cup of espresso through the window, so you could have your fix for the day.
Yeah, because, the coffee culture is huge, it's
Yeah,
like,
it runs
yeah.
very deep in the Portuguese blood. Because people can have coffee at their houses,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
No,
it's not
because
the
you go
same.
there, you talk to your favorite coffee guy, you see the usual people. It's just not about the coffee, yeah. And then there was these stories about, what was it, the guy that was found in the bathroom eating?
What?
Yes, it was like a restaurant that had like people inside, but it was closed. So, but the police caught them, and yeah, they were hidden in the bathroom
I have no
with their
idea. It
food.
was, like nothing was happening. And then in the Portuguese news was just all these stupid stories of people that could not go without going to their, because people go even to restaurant every day, for these daily foods and coffee. I'm telling you, the living room is outside. Especially in cities like Porto and Lisbon. You go and have your meal for like €5 in your favorite place, and they are like your family, and then COVID comes and you cannot do this anymore. So you basically lost your family for
Yeah.
a month. So it
Yes.
was it was interesting.
So I remember when I was in college in Calcutta, you have these coffee houses, right? And this is not a generic coffee house I'm talking about. Coffee house is also a brand that is owned by the coffee plantation government body. They own the coffee house brand, and they have all these like really old coffee houses. We will go there if we manage to go to Calcutta at some point. And the architecture there is like really colonial. Like they are stuck in like 1930s or something. You get like really shit coffee. I have never never tasted
Really bad
really
coffee.
bad
Yeah.
coffee. I've never tasted anything
It's
worse.
basically water with
Yes,
like a little bit of
little bit
flavor.
of coffee flavor, but it's just such an emotion, such a mood that we would go there every day. So there was a table in the coffee house that would be kind of unofficially reserved for us, and no matter wherever we were, like all of our friends, we would always go there after we were done with our colleges, and we would just sit there, drink really shit coffee, and eat gravy chow mein, which is like gravy noodle.
That is one of the best food in the
Oh
world for me. I
yes,
don't
oh
know why.
my god, the food is
It's
amazing.
also very tasteless, but it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yes. And there's a sauce that is like so spicy, but it really looks like shit. I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
it look,
It looks like post diarrhea.
it's really like post diarrhea shit,
Thanks for the
but it's
image.
yes. But it's the most amazing thing in the world. I don't know what they put in it. You put this in your gravy noodles and you eat it. Oh my god.
I bet it's drugs.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
For
it's
almost
sure.
afraid to find out what they put in it because in the last few years, so much came out about lead in one of the noodles that we consume in
yeah,
India. And I'm like, I really don't want to know what they put in that.
yeah,
It'll be so bad.
yes.
So I have a question for you guys. All of us come from countries where hanging out, talking, discussing adda is very common. So when the pandemic started and we are still in the middle of it, I cannot believe it's been 2 years almost. How did you guys work around that? Like how did you keep the tradition going in a way? Or was that not a part of your life?
It was like so many Zoom calls. Yeah, it was really a lot of Zoom calls. In the beginning, it was a bit hard to get used to just communicating through video calls, which is super weird. At least for us, as like the Portuguese, we're very used to being around people
Yeah.
constantly.
No break. Yeah.
Um, no break. Yeah, but I mean, I think we all got used to it, and it provided a bit of a kind of relief from the spending so much time inside. I mean, at least for me and Anna, we started a weekly beer I don't know. It was not Beer Friday
I think
because it
it
wasn't
started as a
on a
beer
Friday. It
Friday, and
was,
then it changed dates.
yeah, and then it changed dates. Yeah, so it kind of became a beer
Yeah, and then eventually
Sunday.
it was Thirsty Day because it was on Thursdays.
Oh, nice.
But it
Yeah,
was every week, and I was really surprised we managed to
it
keep
was
this up
every
for
week.
like really like almost a year or something like this.
Nice.
Yeah,
We
that's what.
kept
Yeah.
it for almost a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Even like when things started opening up, we kept
Yeah.
Yeah, and
doing
then
it.
another friend joined us that we would actually do a lot of this Adda with her when we were back in Portugal all together. So we were like three.
Yeah,
And it was in the high peaks of Corona. So there was literally nothing to talk about, right? So
Right.
we were talking about this in other episodes, right? And the point is that we are so used to talk about nothing in a way. Not
Yeah.
nothing, but all of these other things that
Right.
we will be like easily two
yeah,
hours drinking
Yeah.
beer and talking about I don't even know what.
Random things. Yes.
yeah. I have
Yeah.
no
But I
idea what we
was
talked
laughing
about,
so
but it was,
hard that I
yeah.
had my neighbor knocking in my wall.
Wow.
Oh, I had that. I had that as well.
No, we are not quiet people. And that's the thing. So when we stop having that, right? Marlene is having much more than me because we are in Vienna and Gogol knows the struggle. But even with the few I was getting here, once I stopped having it, like my mental health was, oh my God. And I couldn't, it was
Yes.
really important for me to just have this kind of contact with people, right?
Right.
So then I was telling Marlene, okay, let's do a call, let's get a beer and just get us in front of a computer and just, I don't know, talk.
Yeah. Like we discussed in the Dungeons and Dragons episode, I was also like video calling with you guys, right? I was video calling with
Yeah.
Anna and our friends, Alex and Mariela. We were video calling a couple of times. And I was also video calling with some other friends. Yeah, it was kind of very depressing because we ended up going back to the topic of COVID and we didn't really want to do it. So, yeah, playing Dungeons and Dragons really helped because then we could hang out with each other and not really think or talk about COVID. And the other great thing that happened is that I really do not like playing video games, but I started playing video games with my bros. They would just send me now question mark and I would say yeah, why not? And then we would play every day for 2 hours and we were crap at it, but it was just that we could talk. What about you, Ananya?
Yeah, I didn't really. So the thing is, life here has been very isolating. That's why don't really have Adda friends. Sadly, I have one friend.
Yeah.
We do give Adda, but even because of COVID and our work schedules, and she was graduating, it was not very frequent. But we try to meet up. Like today, I'm going. We are recording this right before Christmas, so today I'm gonna go to her house and have our little mini Christmas before things shut down again. So yeah, like stuff
Nice.
like that. Like we would try to meet up when we can, and because peak lockdown for us was summer, so one day we just met up in like open air, in we had a picnic because summers are actually comfortable in
Nice.
USA. So stuff like that, like we found some innovative ways of seeing and meeting this way. And she has cats, so I could never stay away from her apartment.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
Okay, so I actually have a question again for all of us or who wants to answer. So, what kind of projects or ideas came out of this act of Ada? Because although it's not supposed to be productive, what kind of ideas come out of such an activity?
Like so many. I mean, most of them just stay like in our
Like
heads
floating in
after
the
that,
ether. Yeah.
and they are never and they are never realized. But a lot of ideas that we had in coffee conversations, they like became real. It's like a lot of trips, for example, bike trips that started as a check in the Google Maps on
Yeah.
your phone in a cafe, and then some weeks later you have a couple of bikes on your car and you're driving somewhere.
Well, why I wanted to answer your question actually. I feel like the biggest thing that has come from Adda for me, other than trips, is this podcast. Gogol and I were like giving Adda. And both were like, our opinions should be heard by more than two people. So, yeah.
You're basically decided to record your others.
Yeah.
Exactly. This was the point. The point was that we felt that our addas are very universal in a way. and other people should hear it so that they also understand that that
Yeah, and how much nonsense we can
That you're
speak
not
in an hour
alone.
or less than that.
Challenge
yes,
accepted.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. But other than that, I think I have really discussed a lot of business ideas with my friends because that's what I do. I like pitching stuff to my friends to start businesses and stuff. I don't know. I already pitched Anna like two businesses on Saturday. But anyway, I don't think anything really came out of that.
We did this video for Raquel, remember?
Ah, yes, yes.
One of these crazy ideas.
Ah, yes. Because our friend moved to Germany like a lot of years ago. And I don't know how this came together because now that I'm like verbalizing it, it just sounds very stupid. We decided to make like a go away video. And and the video
Like go
is
away video,
basically
like please go
like
away, or is it like a farewell video? Okay.
no, no, no.
Oh, okay.
Like 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 we'll yeah, yeah. We're sad that you're going
It's
away.
like a farewell
But
video.
I mean, the video is basically like a bottle of beer going
And
through
we
the
make
city.
googly eyes on the beer, like, so it was.
Yeah, I mean, we put arms on the beer and googly eyes, and then just I put it on Anna's backpack, and we were like just going around the city
Fascinating.
and
But this
filming
was a
it.
production that was, again, from Ada, and we had only like 2 days to film it because she was leaving, right? Remember?
Oh, we did it in
Okay.
one day to film it, and then just
And this came out of Ada.
yes,
Yes, it was fun.
it was really
one of
fun.
the few projects that we actually finished.
It was pretty much the dumbest one.
Yeah.
I think that's why we did it. I guess.
I hope this podcast is not the dumbest one we
No, I'm older and wiser, I hope.
yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
Yeah. But Bana, we also decided to review restaurants and be like a restaurant influencer.
And then Corona
Yeah.
came.
And then Corona came.
I can imagine you guys, both of you, wearing like monocles and going to restaurants and wearing suits or something. I don't know why. Like very old world, going and being very highbrow about their food.
We should do that.
Yeah, and then you just eat pizza.
Yes. We just got these pizza stands on the street,
Yeah, with the monocles. I think you should do it.
We should first cut the pizza with the monocle and then put it back.
Oh yeah.
And then put it back and then eat it.
Come on. Okay, so we have reached the end of our episode and we will move on to our recommendation sections. So, do you have any recommendations for us?
Yes, it's a movie. It's called Coffee and Cigarettes, and it's pretty much only coffee conversations.
Nice.
Nice. And it's on Netflix or?
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's really interesting movie, right? It's like small sketches, so
Yeah,
Oh.
it's with
and it's always
different-
black and white. It's
Yeah.
really good movie.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, nice. We'll put it in the show notes.
It was really nice recommendation, Marlene. Thank you so much again for taking the time out and joining a bunch of weirdos to record this episode. It was really a lot of fun. We really did a lot of Adda.
Yes.
I hope it comes out in the final episode that we release. But yeah, we had a lot of fun and hope our listeners also get a taste of it. And this was us trying to do our best with Adda. Having said that, thank you so much for listening. See you next week again. We are so happy to have you. We are very grateful. Come back again. Follow us on all the social medias. Follow us on YouTube. That's it. Have a nice day, I guess. I don't know. Bye.
You're like so not sure about wishing them a nice day. Like, yeah, are you a good person? Because then have a nice day. Otherwise,
Yeah, I
What
don't
if
know.
you don't want to have a nice day?
Yeah, exactly.
People
What
should
if
be
you don't
free
want to have a nice day?
not have a
Yeah.
nice day.
Yeah.
I will not tell you what to do. Just
Yes.
have whatever
Yeah.
day you want to have.
You do you. You do you. I don't want to tell you
You do
anything.
you. Okay. All right, guys. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and we will see you next week. So, bye.
Bye.
Pretty hot and as happy as I can be. Whoa, boom, boom, and zippity.
I still want to do that channel with the aliens trying to understand humans through advertisements.
Ah,
I still
yeah.
want-
Yes. Yes. this conversation is like really interesting.
This is good. It's like we have derailed it, and it is on its
Yes.
own path now.
Sorry, Deba. Yeah.
No, no, don't be sorry.
Wait, now I want to know more about the aliens in the
See, it's a
advertisement.
good idea.
Yeah, me too.
No,
It's like
because we were in the cinema and there was these stupid advertisements. One was about Amazon or whatever, and they were like they made no sense. And I was imagine that some aliens come to the Earth and they have access to advertisements only, like archaeology, and they try to understand how the sociology part, of humans work. See, I'm very good at speaking. and they only have this. So in this Amazon was something. There was a young lady and an old lady, and I don't know what. And then the young lady orders something from Amazon, and then they are friends.
I mean, how? Because ordering from Amazon is the loneliest experience like
I
ever.
don't know. I was like, I don't know. Maybe she got the package wrong, but it was not really clear in the
So that's a bad
advertisement.
advertisement from Amazon. They get orders wrong and you get a friend. I mean,
Yes, maybe.
I know maybe you should start ordering
Maybe.
from Amazon.
So I was imagining some aliens, trying, then they try to make friends by ordering through Amazon, and then they are really upset that does not work.
But how do you want to do this? Like, do you want to do this like a sketch? Like,
I don't know. Maybe it's just drawing comic. I don't know.
Yeah, a comic should
oh,
be.
you want to make a comic
Why
strip?
not?
yeah, Anna should do it.
See, this is a classic
Do it,
example
Anna.
of Adda.